Hello, good morning, good evening, whatever, good night. Hello, my friend.
Hi mate, how you doing?
Oh, by the way, I've got something to show you. Well, no, I won't show you now in public. But no, I've lost looking even more weight I'm down to like just under 15 stone now.
What was you before?
Well, I was when I was my heaviest, which is probably when you met me. I was 1710. I know, fat. I just thought it might be interesting to talk about how we came to meet, how we came to do a collaboration together, and all those kind of things. Really,
it was a great British tattoo show at Ali Pali.
yeah.
In I'm thinking it was 2014, mate.
Wow.
It might be 2015, but 2014. You had your stall. We weren't too far away. I was working. I think you were sending your girls around with kind of these cards that basically like Captain Fawcett would like to meet you kind of thing. So I was like, oh shit, put my machine down, went over to your thing and met you. And I think at that point, you invited me to be on Project 60.
Yeah, that was the thing that was, it was fantastic. It was set up by Brock Elbank, and it was, as you recall, was in Somerset House. Amazing, yeah.
That was an unbelievable time.
And 60 of the most well-known, interesting beards in the world at that point. I mean, including you. I mean, Jimmy Nichols. I mean, the photography was all done by Brock.
Yeah, Brock, amazing photographer, unbelievable.
Yeah, really, really, really special. Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about that as well, I mean, obviously, because I didn't know anything about that at that point, like the melanoma awareness from obviously Jimmy Nichols over in Australia. And I don't know, it was just like the people I met and other people, I'm still in touch with most of them still.
Yeah.
Especially Harnham. I mean, I tattoo Harnham every year or so.
Well, I think the private view, that party was really fantastic. And the venue as well, because once upon, the venue came through Kate, Kate whose husband Fergus was linked with one of the gallery managers at Somerset House. So we got all that for nothing, which is really phenomenal. But at one point it was going to be at the Truman, the Truman Brewery. But the whole exhibition just lent itself to that display area. It was just absolutely stunning. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, I still have the photograph that Brock did of me up in my living room.
Yeah. Well,
and I look at it, I can remember when he did it, and I thought, Jesus, fuck, that doesn't even look like me. It's fucking, who is that guy? That kind of thing.
Sure.
And it's the best, in my opinion, I will ever look in my life. And I look at it every day and I go, who the fuck is that?
Well, it's the same with me. I don't know what he did, but he did some kind of thinning thing. It was like instant liposuction. So he made me look a lot thinner than I actually was at that time. and the biggest thing is I got one in the boardroom meeting, so it's like going into the meeting room and there's bloody me there like some old-fashioned chairman. But I've also got it nailed to my lounge wall, which really pisses my wife off, because every time she goes into the lounge, there is me like Lord friggin' Muck above the mantle.
Yeah, that's it, Lord Fauntleroy. Old Arkwright on the wall.
Oh, hey. Well, no, I wasn't in my brown coat. I was in my top hat and all that stuff. But no, they were.
Have you got your brown coat on now by any chance?
Who?
Have you got your brown coat on now by any chance?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I should do. Do you know how that brown coat came about? Because I always used to put all the Captain Fawcett exhibit stuff, and including, the Great British Tattoo Show, was in the back of my Berlingo van, and it was all kind of rammed in there. Anyway, after a few years of doing this shit, because you know what it's like, you go to a show. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, the way we put up the Captain Fawcett stand, huge amount. Looks like an old apothecary, as you well know. Anyway, after a few years of doing this, going there, setting it all up, and then working 3-5 days or whatever, all the hours it is, and then packing it all down again, I thought one day I'm going to get a professional company to take it. And I've worked with them ever since, but they're really nice. So they put it in, they take it up, and you get there and all the stuff's, all set up, and you just lay out your bits and bobs, And the first time I ever used this guy called Handles is the name of the company. Anyway, first time I ever used this guy, he came back at the end of the show, ready to pick it all up. And he kind of said, I have to tell you something. I move exhibition stands literally all over the world. And he said, I have to say that your stand is one of the best. I mean, the way it's put, the whole image of it,
cool,
one of the best I've ever moved. And I thought, oh, yes, thank you very much indeed. But then he leant down, he whispered, he said, but let me give you one little bit of advice. He said, this was me in my Arkwright coat, you know. He said, I wouldn't wear that coat. Don't wear that coat again. Well, needless to say, I've worn that coat ever since. I go all over the world, and people actually, email me and say, make sure don't forget your brown coat. And I remember once being at some denim show in Milan. It was, what do you call it? A spin-off from the old Milan Fashion Week thing. And we were there at some denim show. It was 32 fucking degrees, mate. And there was no air conditioning or any bollocks, no fans, nothing. It was, I kept my coat on. I kept my coat on throughout, Yeah.
Kept the stiff upper lip.
Kept my stiff upper lip, but everything else had gone limp. But anyway.
Love it.
But I'll definitely, you've given me a clue there. So, because I don't really know this, how did you come to get into tattooing? And, can you give us a little bit of background there? We don't incriminate anybody,
I'll try not to.
Yeah.
Ever since I left school, I did a course on like a YTS thing, on how to become a sign writer, traditional sign writer. So I did that from being like 16, 17. Ended up working for a few companies, done other things since. Ended up working for a firm where I felt like I grew up for years doing commercial sign writing, kind of like vehicle livery and things. Then ended up running my own business, doing the same thing. Quite successful. But as the years went on, as the business grew, the more stressed I got. So I used to have these like episodes where it was like I'd end up in hospital with like suspected heart attack.
Fuck.
And I think it happened maybe 3 times in a year, 3 or 4. The doctors couldn't pinpoint what it was. I'd been on ECGs, everything kind of thing. I was worried, like, oh, fucking hell, I'm going to die. Shoved a camera down my throat as a last resort and found my stomach was eating itself through stress.
Ooh. And
setting off kind of like heart attack symptoms.
Fuck.
And I thought, I've got to change my whole life. I can't keep doing this. I want to see my kids grow up, or, all that kind of thing. But later on in that, when I had that business, I kind of set up, I got this building that we're in now. I rent this building. I set my sister up in the front with her hair salon. And I was still doing my graphics here. And I'd also kind of got registered with the council and I have a tattoo studio so it was 2011. I just decided one day that was it with that business. I was done. I just scrapped it overnight and just started to tattoo. So no experience really.
So when you had that studio, which we're using for your sign writing, and your sister was set up at the front, did you actually set up a tattoo studio and had other people in there? I mean, where did you? I mean, obviously you got the vision, but then there was also a skill in actually getting the ink in.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I didn't really know much. I was quite heavily tattooed at that point anyway, and I'd spoke to loads of tattooers and watched how they worked and watched the process. So I've never really had an apprenticeship. Nobody kind of showed me how to do it. I just kind of learned.
But I mean, the work is literally known all over the world. I mean, absolutely fantastic stuff. So that's how it all came. And so the inspirations art-wise, because I've noticed that you've actually started, in lockdown, doing all kinds of things. There's a painting on Instagram in oil, isn't there, you've done recently. So what artists or art or what imagery, what's the stuff that really floats your boat?
I don't know if there is an actual thing. I mean, I do like the dark side of everything. Obviously, a lot of my inspiration comes from what's going on in the world at that moment, or what I envision the world to be at as time progresses. So like a lot of my work is quite, quite disturbing sometimes when you look at it. And when I look back, I think, whoa. But it resonates with a lot of people as well. So they want the art on them. They don't have to have any specific meaning for the client. obviously they have meanings to me as an artist, trying to get my work out there.
Yeah. Because I understand with quite a lot of the people you work on, as it were, this is your work. You don't, I mean, you will look at commissions, but that's not really your bag.
Yeah.
Your bag is actually, you know, is putting your art on their canvas, as it were.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the way I go around it, in the industry, we call it like free reign work.
Yeah. Wow.
Whereas what we find is generally you'll get the best work on you because the person doing it is more invested in it.
Yeah.
Than doing the same old thing constantly.
Yeah.
But obviously in the beginning, you have to do the same old thing. You have to do this to get clients. You have to keep going down that road.
Yeah.
You know, once you put your, as I call it, putting your neck on the chopping block and putting yourself out there and traveling the world, doing conventions and getting yourself in the spotlight is where you can pick and choose a little bit more of what you do.
Yeah.
You know, steadily, you know, your day rate goes up every year and that kind of thing. It just gives you more freedom.
Well, I'm proud to have
I have a lot more freedom in my life these days.
Yeah.
I only choose to work maybe 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And then have the rest of the week off to spend with my family and my friends and,
nice,
you know, going out biking. And,
I was going to say, I've seen you cycling. I was going to come with you because I've recently taken up cycling again, albeit, you know, road stuff. And I think you're a bit of a downhill maniac. So
yeah, we can take you on a few downhill black runs, mate.
Oh,
you'll be all right.
I was in Whistler once up in Canada doing actually something.
Oh, that's the place.
Yeah, and they have this special thing. I can't remember what it was actually called, cycle something or another. And of course, it's all the ski runs that they've normally got. We take a Harley Davidson trip in there. And there's the old, what do we call it, lift. And you could see the black run and these people going, I mean, forget it. I mean.
Yeah, I was supposed to go there, I think, in the year we got locked down. I should have been going that year.
Really? To that particular?
Yeah. A friend of mine who lives over in Los Angeles, Duncan.
Yeah.
We were going to go over and have a blast on it. I was just, but obviously everything got halted. I was supposed to travel, had to cancel everything like everyone did. You know, it's just how it is, isn't it?
I know. Me myself as well. Trips all over the stuff. Even the trip away with my son to Pakistan, but never mind. I mean, you know, it is what it is, and light is at the end of the tunnel. It would appear.
Light is definitely the end of the tunnel, mate.
Yeah,
definitely.
Somebody did talk about an oncoming train, but fuck them. So given that actually leads me on to the next thing then, because I mean, when are you taking bookings again? When do you hope to open the studio, or is that still a bit up in the air?
To be honest, mate. It'll open when it opens. Yeah. I believe that we're meant to open on the 12th of April, which is my birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm actually, I wouldn't be working that week anyway. I always take the week off every year.
I want to come and work as one of your apprentices. You got any room there?
Well, I've already got one.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, if he gets poorly, I'll come away.
If he gets poorly, then we can have you coming down and doing a bit, mate. No problem.
You know my friend Darren Mahesh, the guy who wrote Gentlemen and Rogues Club down in Poole. He's a great barber. Yeah, he's a great friend. And even my son, when he was at college in Bournemouth, he actually gave him a bit of work. So he's very, very close, and he's doing lots of this kind of meditative stuff. All Us Men, which I went on one of their retreats. But anyway, that's kind of pretty much by the by.
Yeah, I do all that, mate. I do a lot of meditating and things.
Really?
Yeah, all the time, 1 hour a day.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you.
I've just been doing some breathing exercise this morning by Wim Hof. It's Wim Hof, isn't it?
Well, it's really interesting because, I was in hospital recently with this COVID-ruddy pneumonia. It was really quite, I mean, I wasn't that scared, but everyone else seemed to be scared. And I didn't realize till afterwards what a kind of bloody pickle I was in. But I contacted both Mahesh and a friend of mine down in Cornwall, and they said pretty much the same things. And they came up with this thing that I actually breathe. They said, right, so I was on ventilators, right? By this point, I've been on different 3 degrees of amounts of oxygen they'll give you. And then you go into intensive care, right? If you don't do this thing. So I was on maximum frigging oxygen ventilation stuff. So I was feeling awful. So anyway, I texted both of them and they came back with this thing, right? Breathe in slowly and deeply, and then think that there's some kind of huge purple ball rolling up from your feet, which kind of envelops you. Anyway, I did this, because I find it very difficult to sit still, as you know, never mind meditate. But anyway, I couldn't do fuck all there. I was stuck in this bed. So I did it. And literally within a day, they came back and they'd taken me down 2 machines. They just said, whatever you've done, absolutely incredible. So I owe, a lot of, possibly it's not over exaggerate. I mean, I owe my health, I should say, to Mahesh and my pal.
Well, that's the thing, it's getting all this information and about kind of enlightenment and ascension, all this kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff going on at the moment with that, with everybody, and people are really seeing what's going on in the world.
Yeah. I think this is
meditation for me is.
Well, this is certainly slowed me down. Maybe you could come along because I'm going to do another one of Darren's.
Yeah, definitely. I've met before. He cut my hair and my beard a few years back, I remember.
Yeah.
I think we were down in Bournemouth for a little bit of a trip with the family and that, and he saw I was going down, on that Instagram thing. He's like, "Oh, come over, I'll cut your hair and things." And we met each other. It was cool.
Oh, he's a great.
But I couldn't remember where he's.
Well, he was down near a pool, and now he's moved back more into Christchurch. But it was all the Bournemouth area. But anyway, so he's open. He can open on the 12th of April. Coming back to what we were talking about, but he's not doing that. He's saying, "I'm chilling. I'm going to open on Wednesday the 14th." Yeah. So guess who's first in the chair? C'est moi. Yeah, so that's good. Good. So, right, I'm going to ask you about basically a little bit of background image. So how would you prepare for a tattoo? So I'm proud to say I've got 2 pieces of your work on my calves. Fantastic image of Glastonbury.
Commission-based, may I add?
Pardon?
Commission-based ones, may I add?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah. So a beautiful Glastonbury tour, which is very important to me because my son had his naming ceremony and I had a hand fasting ceremony. So it's a very
but we did that one though, didn't we? Your opening evening, remember?
Yeah, we did. I came down HQ,
and we did it in the HQ.
That was 2 years ago yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And cool. more recently, but pre all that bollocks, you did a fantastic Vardo, a real kind of gypsy caravan with the road. Because
caravan.
That's so motivational to me for the kind of open road, the wandering spirit. I've got a couple of motorbikes. One's called Free Spirit, one's called Wandering Spirit. But anyway, enough about me.
Hey, you'll be fully covered in a couple of years. I bet you. You'll get the bug like everybody else.
Well, I've lost so much weight. You got less to cover. So I wanted to ask you. So somebody approaches you. And you you decide you want to work with them, and so what then is the process? How do you go about preparing really for a tattoo? So, do you do artwork beforehand? Give me a rough formula.
Everything's done by emails, just so I have a paper trail and I can look back on it because you get a lot of inquiries, you have a lot of clients, and it's no good if they're ringing the studio up and you're trying to write it down and it just doesn't work that way for me. I have to have it all so I can put their name in my email browser and find who they are, blah, blah, blah. So if somebody emails me, they'll get quite a long-winded email explaining the way that I work and the costing and what's involved. And so let's just say, for instance, somebody does go down the free reign route, then I'll ask, obviously, how much coverage they want. Let's just say somebody says, I want a full sleeve, an arm sleeve, for instance.
Yeah.
Then what I will do, I'll get them to send me a clear photograph of the whole outside of their arm head on.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I know how big they are and this kind of thing, just for scale purpose. And maybe 3 or 4 of my works that they like.
Yeah.
Just give me an indication of direction of what road to go down.
Yeah.
So I will then, maybe the night before the client's in, I'll design the piece. So it's fresh.
So you don't go back to them with any artwork. They arrive there. And
no. Because what I've found doing that is if I send out my artwork to people, then they can then decide to take it to someone else.
Yeah.
Or they then show it their auntie's cat's husband's dog's frog. Yeah. And then they all have their input in on it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm not really sure about this and that. And it's well, fair enough. Well, what I found is, I get the client in, say, 11 a.m. Generally, most people these days, they'll do back-to-back day sessions.
Right.
Because I have a lot of traveling clients. So people will be traveling from abroad, or they'll be traveling from down south or whatever. So they'll book in the local hotel and they'll stay over. So in the morning when they arrive, I'll go, here's my idea. 99% of those will be like, oh, yes. Because what it is, it's an original piece.
Yeah.
I don't repeat work. I have an indication of what they like through obviously from what they send me of my work anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it works. So, and I'm allowed to push it then. I'm allowed to push the boundaries a little bit more. I mean, I've noticed my work steadily changing over the years anyway. It's not always the same dark stuff, as it moves.
Yeah.
And it all comes from what's happening around.
Yeah.
How I see the
So
world.
I mean, you really are. If you get an Arron Raw tattoo, without any doubt, you're getting an inspired, one-off, special piece of art. It's art without any doubt.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
It is, of course. I mean, your work is, well, it's stunning. As I said, you're world renowned. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a plug here for Captain Fawcett. What's the best way of, the work's been done, you've been in there for the day or the 3 days or the 4 days. What's the best way of taking care of your new tattoo? What
I will do just for the first couple of days, there's this kind of like new sort of derma wrap that I think was kind of first brought around for like burn victims and stuff, where they could wrap the skin so it didn't get any infection, nothing from the outside would get in and cause any problems. So because it's such a traumatic kind of thing for the skin to deal with, and like we do these large scale pieces, we'll put this kind of derma wrap on it. There's all different brands out there, I use different various ones. So what we'll do, we'll just say wrap it with that for a couple of days, let it calm down. It's like healing itself in a way. And then we'll get them to maybe strip it off in the shower, just so the stuff's going down the drain, you're not getting it everywhere. And then just let it air dry for a little while.
Yeah.
And then straight after that, I would use this stuff.
Shameless plug. Thank you very much indeed.
Made by this beautiful chap, Captain Fawcett himself.
Brilliant.
So I'd give this to my client.
Yeah.
Super soothing, amazing cream. I mean, everybody I've used it on has come back and, oh my God, it's like the feeling that you get when they put it on, and I don't know how you've done it, but it feels like it's extra soothing. It's not aggressive.
There's no drag on.
No drag.
Yeah.
I've used lots and lots of different creams in the past. Some are a bit thick, some are too thin, some are quite oily. What this tends to do, it doesn't act as a barrier cream. It soaks right into the skin. And I found maybe like within a week of using it, the tattoo's nearly there.
Yeah.
It's healed. As you know, you've used it yourself.
My comparatively recent leg.
Every one of my clients uses it, and amazing feedback. But I remember, when it first came around, when I want to go down get into doing a cream. I want to, I'll use you. And I was like, whoa, I was blown away. Like, shit.
Well, absolutely. Likewise. So thank you for really explaining that, and thank you for the plug. And I shall send you a $5 in the morning.
Nice one. Hey, pal, friends and family, please, man.
Yeah, you may need to try it out anyway. So going back to, have you got any? So we're going to put it in within this film. We're going to actually put up some of your pieces, any photography, any particular bits that you are, particular favorites of yours. But can you recall any immediately to mind, or are they all got their own speciality?
I don't really have any favorites as such. I don't. They're all different, mate. I couldn't say I have a specific favorite.
No.
I don't know. I kind of vibe off my clients a lot with it, and it's good to see the same people.
Yeah.
What'll happen is I have them all on rotation every month, every couple of months, because I do a lot of large scale pieces. Yeah. And a lot of it, once I get to know that person, a lot of it, I put their vibe into the work as well, if you like, the odd little thing in there.
I do.
I don't really have.
Sorry.
I don't really have favorite pieces. I just have favorite times of tattooing. I have favorite.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, what it means to the client, like when they, you know, when they see it and the progression. And I have a few clients where it's given so much confidence, having all this work done.
Yeah.
That for me is like seeing the face in the mirror kind of thing, and knowing that they're happy with what I've done on them. That's the best thing for me.
That's the reward.
That's the reward, is the client satisfaction.
Yeah.
And the you know, they keep coming back and everyone's buzzing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that your waiting list, I think prior to all this bollocks, you know, this COVID situation, I mean, your waiting list was up to some 18 months, wasn't it? Something crazy.
Yeah, I think at one point it was 2 years, and then I got down to 18, and then I got down to a year. But I was finding I wasn't having enough time actually for myself, being so strict with the bookings. And also starting doing a lot of conventions, traveling the world.
Yeah.
I had to move a lot of people all the time. And then when you say to somebody, oh, I need to move this date to this date, which is a year down the line, it's not fair.
No.
Because they've waited long enough anyway. So I kind of just keep it around 6 months now.
Okay, and that's something that I've been thinking about really after that recent experience that we spoke about. You know, I'm going to just take this is not a rehearsal. Life is not a rehearsal. You know,
no, you've done it before.
I'm hoping near the end of the year, here I go again, to take a bit of time out and ride my motorcycle and visit our customers all over Eastern Europe. I want to ride through Transylvania and go.
You've got to do these things.
Yeah, so I've got to do that. So getting back to you, though, have you got any? I know young Corey Dodes, he's known as the left-hand man. Well, been in touch with you about a piece of.
He's booked in.
Yeah. I know.
He's having a Lemmy piece.
Yeah, he's a really, really, really great guy. In fact, it's through him that the whole John Petrucci collaboration came about.
That's right. I remember you saying.
Yeah, for another day. But have you got any exciting projects coming up that? Anything?
They're all exciting, mate. That's the good thing about doing this.
Yeah.
Each day's different. Yeah. Each client's different. As much as the work kind of looks the same, the work is different. You know, you challenge yourself all the time, and that's the main thing I think in all this, is just challenging yourself and keep pushing it. I think a lot of people can get stagnant in a lot of, not just tattooing, in life. You can get stuck in a rut. I just kind of just keep pushing it. Yeah. And make time for yourself. Yeah, because I think the main thing. I found that, I mean, even I took a weekend off after I'd come out of hospital. I never take a weekend off. And it meant when I came back in on Monday, I'd had some ideas. I allowed myself to be, you know, a bit more creative and you got time to think. Yeah, rather than having a nose on the bloody, you know. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, mate. Yeah. So I think, I think, you know, it's brilliant. I've learned from you. I've learned from Mahesh. And I've learned from my recent experience. So this is all really great. It is. It's good stuff, mate. Look into the meditation a little bit more. I found it. It's a godsend, mate. Seriously. I do find it difficult. The mindset that you can get in is unbelievable. I do find it difficult to sit still for very long, because I mean, meditation is really a lot to do with, you know, you can regulate your breathing, but it's about stilling the mind. And my head is a bit like something jumping around in a bloody pillows, you know. Mine is exactly the same. Most people in this industry, artists and all, we never stop thinking. Your mind never shuts off. What I find, you have to find your own way in meditation, like I did, because I'm not the guy that would sit up, legs crossed. What I do, I kind of set my own thing up where, you know, I'll do it in my bedroom. And I have kind of like playlists of like solfeggio kind of tone music. Okay. I will immerse myself in the music and regulate the breathing. So what if you're thinking about your breathing more than anything, what happens is that becomes normal with the breathing. Everything else shuts off, mate, because you've got this music that transfixes your mind. What was the name of the artist you mentioned? The music is it's solfeggio harmonics. Okay. I have my playlists are on my iTunes account.
Yeah, but of course, in the old days, the only way I would still myself was by getting completely off my tits.
Exactly the same, mate.
I'd get stoned or I'd get hammered. My first glass.
Drinking yourself into an oblivion, and it's not
my first glass, I would actually lift up the glass and say to oblivion, and then drink.
Yeah, exactly. But we were all the same.
Yeah, and then but I mean,
I found massive enlightenment with all of this stuff, mate.
Well, 4 years ago, I've stopped drinking. I'm totally clean. So, but I've still got the brain racing thing now, and there is
no... same. I mean, I still have that. You know, I gave up drinking about maybe 18 months ago. I've had the odd little beer since, and I don't miss it. I'm not really interested anymore. I've just got this clear mind.
Oh, it's brilliant.
You know, my diet, I'm vegan. I've been vegan for a long time. Everything, even the water I drink distilled. I distill my own water. I don't even drink bottle or tap water. Everything has its own little meaning.
Wow.
It's all better for your heart and for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking your guys' advice. I think we're going to I've had an idea of speaking to you now. I think we're going to get Mahesh on an interview as well, because I think
I would.
Speaking to you guys, you've helping me find the off switch.
That's it. It works. Honestly, it works, because I was the same as you.
Yeah.
My mind never stopped racing. But now I pull 1 hour every day. Even after I've been working, I'll go home. I'll do the hour on, lie down and meditate. And then the clarity afterwards it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You've got the headspace for everything. Whereas it's constant, darkness and depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
All that shit's gone, mate.
I'm definitely going to try that. Arron, it's been a great pleasure. Thank you for your time today to talk.
Love you guys.
Huh?
Love you guys.
Oh, mate, no, likewise. Huge respect. We go back a long way. Yeah, thank you very much indeed. And we've both got our trousers on by all accounts.
I think so.
That's for you.
I know you haven't.
That's for you to know.
Yeah. I know you're sat there in your white front.
Oh, yeah. My old Von Dutch TK Maxx panties. Anyway.
Granville white front.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
Thanks, mate.
See you soon.
Ciao, buddy. Bye.